Midday Kentucky cooking segment brought to you by Creative Kitchen and Bath, where you will always cook in style.
Welcome back to Midday Kentucky. We are right here at Wild Thyme Cooking with chef extraordinaire, Miss Allison Davis.
And we can't get away from the bacon this week.
We just can't. I just talked her into adding bacon to this recipe, so there you have it.
Well, bacon makes everything better, am I right?
It really does. So what are we making? This is so fantastic.
So we're talking about Keeneland. Everybody's talking about Keeneland races, and so you can't talk Keeneland, you can't talk food without talking bread pudding.
Oh,
all right, so we're going to do a bread pudding, a version of our own. I honestly think bread pudding can be anything. You can put anything but the kitchen sink in bread pudding and probably make it work as long as you've got a good custard base.
Yeah.
Point made, we're adding bacon to this recipe. So we're starting with some bread. You typically want like day-old bread that's kind of dried out a little bit. So I've just cut those into some nice cubes.
You're throwing bread everywhere.
I know. And we're going to make our custard. So I typically will go with maybe 5 or 6 eggs.
Okay.
Just into a bowl. And then we're going to add some cream to that, and that's kind of the base of a custard. You know, the eggs are going to bind it. As they bake, they're going to come together and they're going to bind it. And then the cream is just our liquid that's going in with that. And then we're going to make it a sweet custard. Okay. So we're going to add what to make it sweet?
Sugar.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's not rocket science. Lisa got it. So a little bit of cream, and then we'll whisk that together.
Okay.
And then I like to add a few spices into mine. And vanilla is one of them, because I love a little bit of vanilla.
Yeah.
And then we're going to obviously sweeten. You can never have too much vanilla. So some sugar. And again, we'll have the recipe on the site with the measurements here to go by. So I've got cream, eggs, sugar, vanilla, and then I love to add a little bit of cinnamon and clove into mine. And now we're going to get into the fun part. Like I said, you can kind of make it and go any different direction and kind of make it your own. But we're going to start layering. So we're going to take our bread, throw that into our dish.
Does the bread have to be a day old? I mean, is that?
I mean, ideally, because it really soaks up the custard. You know, so if it's soft, then you might end up with a mushier bread pudding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. So I'm going to go with bananas. I was kind of thinking of all those flavors of Chunky Monkey. You know, but I don't have the nuts in this one. But we're going to go with
we have the bacon.
We have bacon instead, right? So some sliced bananas in there.
Yeah.
I've got some white and some dark chocolate chips, right?
Yes.
That bacon's perfect, so we're going to turn that off.
Let me check that
I even had a little bit of cranberries, and so I soaked some cranberries in bourbon because I love to put a little bourbon into mine, so just we'll throw some cranberries for color and then that little bit of bourbon flavor.
How long do you soak the cranberries in the bourbon?
Honestly, you could soak them overnight, but at 20 minutes you're fine.
Okay.
All right, so then we're going to pour our custard on here. And honestly, I like to let this sit for about 30 minutes and then kind of toss it in the custard so that it really gets a chance to soak it up before going in the oven. Okay. And then go in the oven. And why don't you just start scooping some of that bacon and sprinkling it on top.
Right on.
And if you wanted, we could save it and just do it at the end too. But a little bit of that bacon grease could not hurt that bread pudding.
Yeah.
And that is about it, my friends. We're going to put that in the oven at about 350 and let that go for about 35 to 45 minutes. You really just want to make sure that the custard is nice and set. That's good. And then we'll pull it out, and you can just spoon it out and serve it. It's good to go. Typically and traditionally, it's served with a bourbon sauce. And I will include a bourbon sauce recipe on that we can put on top of our...
Drizzle it on top.
that you can drizzle on top.
Oh, sounds so good. I can't wait. And for this recipe and many other recipes, head over to our website at WTVQ.com/Midday Kentucky. Head over to the recipes tab there. You'll find all kinds of wonderful recipes that Allison and has done for us. It's amazing. You can also find the recipes at Allison's website at
wildthymecooking.com. And you'll find me on Instagram at Chef Allison Davis.
And we'll be right back right after this short break. Keep it right here. You're watching Midday Kentucky.